Hello everyone and welcome back to my playlist of pathology. Today we are going to discuss dysplastic nevi. स्किन पैथोलॉजी हम कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं एंड नेवस हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया पिछले वीडियो में. सो वी टॉक्ड अबाउट व्हाट अ नेवस इज. दैट इज proliferation. Melanocytic nevus is a proliferation of melanocytes. If it was benign, it is called melanocytic nevi. But now dysplastic nevi, which may be sporadic, which means they appear suddenly, or they may be familial, which means you can have them from your hereditary stuff. The later, which means the familial, are important clinically because these are in individuals who have an increased risk of developing a melanoma. So if you are taking it from your genes, then there are chances that these dysplastic nevi may develop into a melanoma. हमने जब melanocytic nevi की बात की थी, तो I told you there was a gain of function mutation in BRAF and RAS genes, जिसकी वजह से there was more cellular proliferation and there was more cellular survival. These mutations are also common in dysplastic nevi. So therefore, these genes, RAS and BRAF, they are surely associated with almost all types of melanocytic proliferations. Okay? Alright, okay. अब इसके ज़रा clinical features की बात करते हैं, फिर हम इसकी microscopy की बात करेंगे. So, unlike ordinary nevi, so when we say ordinary nevi, this basically means benign melanocytic proliferation. या आम इंग्लिश में इसको हम मोल कहते हैं, या उर्दू में इसको हम तिल कहते हैं, चेहरे पे तिल, रुखसार पर तिल type of thing. Okay. So, unlike ordinary nevi, dysplastic nevi have a tendency to occur on body surfaces not exposed to sun as well as on the sun exposed side. So, sun exposure is not the prerequisite like squamous cell, basal cell. They can occur anywhere. Familial dysplastic nevus syndrome is strongly associated with melanoma, which is a serious condition, as the lifetime risk for development of melanoma in dysplastic nevi patients is absolutely 100%. It's very close to 100%. So if somebody has familial dysplastic nevus, then chances that they will get melanoma are nearly 100%. However, in sporadic cases, only individuals with 10 or more dysplastic nevi appear to be at increased risk. Okay? Now look at the diagram of the dysplastic nevus. This is a gross appearance. You see there is numerous irregular nevi on the back of the patient. So if you see the zoomed image, so these are kind of irregular. Compare this with this one. Very well circumcised, rounded border, uniform color. You don't see any problematic thing there, but that is not looking good because this is dysplastic. Okay. Also in the microscopy, you see all these changes here. So for example, you see that there is disruption of the dermoepidermal junction. This one looks even bizarre. There is a lot of cellular atypia. There are irregular cellular nests present, and then there is a lot of fibrosis also. So clearly these images are different from this image because this is all looking very benign and this is all looking very, very nasty. It's yet not tumor, but it's getting to the stage of dysplasia. And you know, from general lectures of pathology, when we talk about dysplasia, we have to consider that this dysplasia have the potential to get into malignancy, and this is what actually happens. Many of the familial type of dysplastic nevi has a chance to get to the tumor stage. Okay. Now, transformation of dysplastic nevus to melanoma has been documented both clinically as well as histologically. However, such cases are the exception, as most melanomas appear to arise de novo, जिसका मतलब ये है कि melanoma पहले दिन से melanoma होता है. It's not usually converted from something else. Okay, thus the likelihood that any particular nevus, dysplastic or otherwise, will develop into melanoma is actually overall low. All right. Okay, so now let's spend a minute on the morphology. Dysplastic nevi are larger than most acquired nevi and may number in hundreds. So that's one of the clinical features. So you see there are so many of them. Okay, microscopically, dysplastic nevi are mostly compound nevi, and you remember from my discussion of the compound nevus, they are at the dermal epidermal junction, they are in the dermis. So this is what the compound nevus basically looks like. So they are usually compound nevi. Okay, and nevus cells nest, they form nest. You see the nest of cells, right? So it's actually easy to read this and then understand this. It's not too difficult. As part of the process, single nevus cell begin to replace the normal basal cell layer, and that happens all the way along the dermoepidermal junction, producing the so-called lentiginous hyperplasia. So that basically means if we go back to the very basic diagram that I have been drawing all over during these lectures, if this is the basement membrane, here we have the dermis, and here we have the basal layer of epidermis, and in middle are some cells which are the melanocytes. So if melanocytes take over, this also become melanocyte, this also become melanocyte, this is called lentiginous hyperplasia of melanocytes. So it is replacing the basal layers. Okay, so there will be cellular atopia, hyperchromasia. These are all bad features. Associated alterations also occur in the superficial dermis, because right here is the superficial dermis. So if this cellular layer is disturbed, it will have some impact here as well. And these consist of sparse lymphocytic infiltrate, release of melanin pigment, that is phagocytosed by the dermal macrophages. So here are the cells sitting releasing the melanin, and the dermal macrophages eating it up, and this is what is called melanin incontinence. So there is melanocyte leakage, which is then taken care of by the macrophages. So that's the kind of histology that you have to remember about dysplastic. Now, none of this happens in melanocytic nevi. So none of this happens in the benign variant. Okay, no leakage of melanin, no lentiginous hyperplasia. These things don't happen. And if they are visible and they are present, you are talking about dysplastic nevus. And anytime this dysplastic nevus has the tendency to get to the melanoma. Okay, our next video will primarily focus on melanoma.